and people rising up as a result of sort of the Renaissance and the Enlightening and this great awakening that happened in populations in the West demanding justice from their governments. And I will tell you, in European societies, class was so strong, right? The aristocracy really did run things, and it was impenetrable. By the way, you have an elite here in the U.S. It used to be more penetrable. You used to see people float in and out of the elite and the top 1% in this country pretty regularly within their lifetimes. It's becoming much more fixed now as we become more socialist. I'll explain why that is. But what the socialists were doing was reacting to the horrific conditions that industrialization was bringing on. There wasn't globalization yet, but trade was starting to happen globally in the British Empire and elsewhere, and this was creating vast winners and losers. So, for example, in France, around the time of the Revolution, they both France, Spain, and the English were vastly involved in the slave trade, but also farming and exporting other goods from the Caribbean, right? So at one point, 25% of the wealth of the bourgeois in, the sort of like the moneyed class, not the aristocrats, but like the small businessmen and all the people who facilitate the economy, 25% of their wealth was wrapped up in the Caribbean slave trade or products that were traded out of that place. So this was a very obvious problem to people looking on, seeing how the aristocrats and the bourgeois were scooping all the goodies for themselves, and the average person was being left behind by all this wealth creation, and did not have mobility to try and become that. See, you have to really let go of your biases about how the world is in the U.S. and just think about this period of time in Europe. Socialism emerges, and it says the following. Socialism is about empowering government to deliver the maximum benefit to the most people to create a good and just society, right? The socialist. Think about the terms. Socialism means I'm concerned most of all with the social aspects of our society, right? By the way, they created the term capitalism to try and make a comparison to it. Let me take a little side journey here. Any leftist or really sophisticated political philosopher listening to this is going to know there's like a level down much deeper in the metaphysics of Marxism and Feuerbach and Hegel and all these other people, and idealism versus Marxist materialism. We could talk about that. I'm not an expert in all, but I do understand these ideas. And but this is a total waste of time for the average person to understand.